Stop the world! Tell me something. Would you say that this was sexy? I mean, think about it. What? I mean, how many times does a man come up to a woman and go like this? What? Anybody could say, darling, I love you. But seriously, how often does it happen to you? You know, a little thing like that might have changed the whole course of history. If Josephine would have gone like that to Napoleon, you see, he was just a little chap. There would have been none of this, not tonight, Josephine, not tonight. But it would have been more like, anytime you like, Josephine, anytime you like. But I suppose there comes a time in every man's life when that just isn't enough. And then a fellow's got to resort to words. I myself don't have much time for words. I could say all I've got to say with that. And it's funny about women that the ones that you can get, you don't want to know about. But the ones you can't, you know. You're in a bit of a hurry, aren't you? What's your name?
My name is Eve, but I'm afraid you're wasting your time on me, little chap.
My, damn, you talk marvellous! I never spoke with a posh bird before. It's like it's another language.
It's only the Queen's English.
I know she is, but you'd expect it from her. Ain't seen you around here before.
It's only my first day. What do you do?
Me? I'm a junior executive.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm FG for all the other executives. I mean, I may not talk posh enough. Get out of here, you bleeding idiot! But I can honestly say I got where I am today through sheer ability. It's funny that you should stop and have a chat with me like this. It's as though we were fated for one another. I love you, Evie.
Oh, I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Here comes my bus.
Darn! Toffee nose! She ain't no different than any other bird except she talks like she's got a mouthful of silver spoon. Maybe that's it. To get a bird like her, you gotta have money. That's it. Money! Look at me! Just take a look at me. A minute ago, I didn't know me elbow from me. Ask just simply anyone. Go ahead and ask anyone. They'll tell you I was greener than the grass. Oh, what a mess I was. Yes, I confess I was. That burbling, bloody baby at the font. But you don't know the half of it. Now I just laugh at it. Because now I know exactly what I want. To be rich, with money to burn, 1,000 a week, say, would do me a turn. I'd keep it in one, sirs, in case of a slump. And there'd be stacks and stacks, and the income tax could take a running jump. I'd have any suits made, a dozen at a time. I'd buy all the best shares, provided they'd climb. Give me half a chance, a small advance, me fingers itch to make me dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking rich.
Fares, please, fares, please, fares, please.
Take a look at me! A quick butcher's look at me. Now, a year ago, I didn't know a cockle from a whelp. Can you imagine it? I mean, just simply imagine it. Fancy not knowing a cockle from a whelp. I mean, one looks sort of like a winkle, and the other one looks sort of like a...
Winkle.
Ooh, what a nit I was! Yes, I'll admit I was. Like a sloppy, floppy puppy with a ball. And then, without reason or rhyme, I was chatting that bird all the time, and I heard a soft voice within me call. I want to be rich! And buy a big house.
Big deal!
Hundreds of acres, and pheasants and grouse.
Spiel.
American car as long as a street. And the lack of birds would be lost for words will knock them off their feet. Women drivers. I want to be famous and be in the news. Go out with a film star whenever I choose. Give me half a chance to lead a dance with some rich witch, and I'll be dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking rich.
He wants to be rich.
Here we be.
And the money to burn. And the dance in a week say,
If he loves
from the turn. He keeps it in monsters in case of a slump.
Sorry.
Then the sex and sexy income tax could take a run and go. All the suits made a dozen at a time. He's buying the best shares, provided they climb. Give him half a chance to swallow the dance fingers. It's to make a dirty one, filthy, stinking rich.
I want to be rich and mix with the knobs and sit with the best seats with all of them snobs. I may go to Ascot to take in the scene. It'd be great to pat me spats and that I'd be deputy for the Queen. I want to go travelling to Cannes and Capri. The French Riviera is my cup of tea. Give me half a chance in the south of France to make my pitch. And I'll be dirty, rotten, filthy, stinking. I can hear the lolly clinking. Lots of birds and lots of drinking. I can guess what you're all thinking. Dirty, rotten,
Filthy, stinking rich. I wish you'd stop following me.
Well, you just can't walk out on me now. You've created a monster.
Yeah.
If I'm not treated right, I may turn ugly.
Be that as it may, Mr. Little Chap, I have a tube train to catch.
Attention, attention please. The virgin struggling on platform 2 is for patting, petting, kissing and cuddling, but will stop short at anything approaching sin, lust, desire, and all of the roads that lead to immorality. Hurricane Evie is moving relentlessly toward the altar.
You want to bet? I'll lay you 10 to 1.
My mother said I never should play with the young men in the wood. If I did, she would say, naughty little girl to disobey. I'm a typically English rosebud, born of typically English stock, from a typically Anglo-Saxon family tree.
You can tell, can't you?
I received my education in a typically English way at a typically English girls' academy.
I went to Brixton Boys Reformatory School for myself.
I played typically English tennis at the typically English club with a typically English feeling for fair play. I eat typically English crumpets with my typically English tea at the end of every typically English day.
That's funny, we eat fish and chips.
Father is a typically English colonel. Home is a typically English county town.
Somewhere Swindon.
Mummy and I play typically English patience while the typically English rain is pouring down. I've a typically English bulldog who likes typically English walks past the typically English trees upon the heath. And if anyone asks me how I like this typically English life, I am fed up to my typically English teeth.
My mother said I never should play with the girlies in the wood. If I did, she would say they'd only end up in the family way.
When I go to typically English dances, Mummy gives me typically sound advice. How to cope with typically coarse advances, though I have to confess I find them rather nice. Stay there! In the typically English summer, we take typically English trips to a typically seaside place with Auntie Maud. And if anyone asks me how I like this typically English life, I I have never been so Pygmalion bored.
And if anyone asks me how I like this typically English life, I have never been
Here's a special announcement. There was an accident in the bed sitting room off the Brompton Road late last night when a 17-year-old girl had a head-on collision with a 25-year-old T-boy and received injuries from which her typically English family may never recover. If anyone saw the incident or can give any information about the incident, please keep it to themselves.
When a typically English rosebud is in typically English bloom, and her typically English petals open wide, when her typically English perfume reaches typically English breeze, and what follows is really most undignified.
My mother said I never should play with the girlies in the wood. If I did, she would say that I only end up in a most undignified, somewhat magnified, slightly stupefied, maybe multiplied, quite unqualified, none too sanctified,
highly satisfied way.
Yes, sir? Your daughter, sir? I didn't know your daughter, sir. That's your daughter, sir? I mean, she's your daughter? No, sir. We've hardly met at all, so just the once. Yes, sir, of course you wouldn't want her going out with a member of the staff, sir. Yes, sir, quite especially the T-boy. I'm sorry, sir. It won't happen again, sir. Not that it did, sir. Yes, sir. No, sir. 3 bags full, sir. He's very pleased with me progress. Why didn't you tell me your father was the boss?
I'm going to have a baby.
I mean, if I would have known your father was the boss... Eh? My mother said I never should play with the young girls in the wood. If I did, she would say... And she was right! Stop the world! You know, the last time I was in the church, I was 8 weeks old. I went with another adult, so they let me in. I'll never forget it. You know what happened? Some fella dipped my head into a bowl of cold water, as if I was a radish or something. I mean, mind you, I've got nothing against religion. On the surface, it's all right. It's when they hold your head under that I don't care for it. Turned a bit chilly, hasn't it?
Here is the weather forecast. The outlook for tomorrow is unsettled. There is a deep depression centered over a little chap in the Brompton Road. A ridge of pressure is forcing him slowly towards the upper classes, and Hurricane Evie is heading relentlessly towards the altar.
On behalf of my wife and myself, I'd just like to thank those of you who tied a car to the back of my shoe. Sir, I know you've been looking forward to this union for several anxious months, and I would just like you to think that you are not so much as losing a daughter as gaining a grandson. I've been trapped. I've been lumbered. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered. But I'm never going to get lumbered again. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered. And I don't L-I-K-E it once more bit. I'm too young to be a father. There are lots of things I'd rather be, like working down a coal PIT pit, when I ought to be completely unencumbered. I've been forced to buy a ring and say amen, amen. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered. I'm completely C-H-L-K-E-D choked. Bang go all my lovely visions. I've been forced to make decisions. Wish I had a quid for every fag I've smoked. When I think of all the birds with whom I've slumbered, now I'll only ever see them, God knows when.
Like on the weekends and when the wife's not about.
I've been L-U-M-B-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again. If I ever get my hands upon the idiot who wrote, and to every life a little rain must fall, I will take his book of poems and I'll work them up his throat. Because it seems to me as though I get it wrong. I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered, and the idea doesn't please me very much. I was not prepared for marriage. I would catch the boat from Harwich, but I don't speak any D-U-C-H Dutch. Though I know it's true bachelor's days are numbered, I think I should have the chance of saying when. I've been L-U-M-B-R-E-D lumbered, but I'm never gonna get lumbered again. It's enough to drive a fellow MAD! I am scarcely past my childhood. I still play the games of childhood. I'm still playing moms and dads, as you can see. When I think of all those chicks with who I've rumbled, for the wedding march I'm lumbered with a hen.
Quack, quack!
I've been L-U-M-B-R-E-D lumbered. Now for a bit of peace and quiet.
Darling, I'm going to have a baby. Another one.
I've been L-U-M-B-E-R-E-D lumbered.
So have I.
I've had just about E-N-U-F enough.
So have I.
For my little bit of pleasure, I've been punished beyond measure. If you ask me, I've been treated rather rough.
So have I.
Like a garrison that's gradually outnumbered, or a boxer when the count is nearing 10.
Down with men.
I've been L-U-M-B-R-E-D lumbered.
I've been lumbered,
But I'm never gonna get lumbered again. Well, sir, your daughter's pregnant again. I mean my wife, sir. And we've already got one kid, and we can hardly manage on the salary you pay us. And after all, she is your own flesh and blood, and I don't always see why I should be the only one to get lumbered. What was that, sir? A promotion? Thank you, sir. Where was that, sir? Our northern office. Where, sir? Sludge pool. Thank you, sir. And the best of luck to you too, sir. Well, it isn't Monte Carlo.
But it is promotion.
You go and take a look at the new love nest, Evie. I'm going to take a walk down to the factory. I'm the new works manager. I've been sent here to help step up production. Parlez de français? That's it, you're all working overtime tonight. Only joking. And they call this a promotion. I won't last 5 minutes here. I don't think I could stand the pace. I'll bet that's just what the old man wants. Nothing would please him more than to see me come crawling back on my hands and knees. Well, I've got news for him. I may just do that.
All right, ladies, time for a tea break.
Break for a cup of tea? Why, you've only just had your lunch!
So what? Now we're going to have our tea.
It's lightning workers like you who have put this country where it is today. On the crest of a slump.
You're just making a mountain out of a molehill.
I defy anyone to make a mountain out of this molehill.
What did he say, love? Something about a mountain. About a mountain.
Something about making a mountain out of a molehill.
A mountain out of a molehill.
mountain out of a hill.
Gonna build a mountain from a little hill. Gonna build a mountain, at least I hope I will. Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, I only know I'm gonna try.
Yeah.
Gonna build a daydream from a little hope. Gonna push that daydream up the mountain slope. Gonna build a daydream, gonna see it through. Gonna build a mountain and a daydream, gonna make them both come true. Gonna build a heaven from a little hell. Gonna build a heaven, and I know darn well. Gonna build me mountain with a lot of care. And take me daydream up the mountain, heaven will be waiting there.
Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only know I'm gonna try. Yeah.
When I build that heaven, as I will someday, and the Lord sends Gabriel to take me away. I want a fine young son
What a fine young son
to take my place. I leave my son in my heaven on earth with the good Lord's grace. Gonna build a heaven from a little hell. Gonna build a heaven, and I know darn well. Gonna build me mountain with a lot of care. And take me daydream up the mountain, heaven will be waiting there.
Gonna build a mountain, gonna build it high. I don't know how I'm gonna do it, only know I'm gonna try.
With a fine young son to take my place, I will leave my son in the heaven on earth with the good Lord's grace. Don't tell me! Great! Marvelous! Wonderful! Trust you to do the hat trick! I get more production here than I do at the factory!
Only human!
What kind of an excuse is that? I can just imagine what it's going to be like in 10 years' time. There'll be you, me, and 1,400 little ones stuck in this god-forsaken place. Anyway, that settles it. Don't wait up for me. I may commit suicide. The old man is going to bury me here alive if I don't do something about it. So I think I better do something about it, because if I don't, the old man is going to bury me here alive. So So I think I better do something about it, because if I don't... What can I do about it? Right! There's going to be some changes made around here. If the wife can step up production, so can you! First of all, rip out that conveyor and put in the new streamliner. That filing cabinet's out of date. Get rid of it and get the new aluminum file master. You don't seem to realize we're up against a bit of stiff, heavy competition. And you can tell the staff I'm chopping 20 minutes off the tea break. Half an hour's quite long enough. That's more like it. Now we're in business. Gonna build a mountain.
Build a mountain.
Gonna from a little hill. Gonna build a heaven.
Build a heaven.
And I know I will.
I know I will.
Gonna build my mountain with a lot of care.
With a lot of care.
It'll take me days up the mountain, and it'll be waiting there. Yes, sir, you wanted to... Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Yes, sir. Well, I am rather well pleased with the sludge pool figures. Mind you, I don't want to take all the credit. It was Evie who gave me the idea. She's very production-minded. What was that, sir? Me? Delegate to the International Trade Mission? Where's that, sir? Moscow. Moscow, eh? Evie will be pleased. She's expecting again. No, again. No, again. No, she's had that one. This is again. Well, thank you, sir, and the best of luck to you too, sir. Gonna build a daydream. Going to see it through. Gonna build a mountain and a daydream. Gonna make them both come true.
Attention! Trans-Soviet Airways is pleased to announce the arrival of flight Niet from East Berlin, where a convention of party bricklayers is cementing good wall relations with West Berlin.
Over there is the Kremlin, seat of the government of the glorious Supreme Soviet. To the right is the statue to commemorate the people's glorious fight against imperialistic oppression. And this is monument to Alexandry Petronovich, immortal tractor driver who, with his tractor machine, ran over 176 German troops in glorious defense of the municipal bath Stalingrad. Oh, sorry, comrade, Volograd. He was a good man, and nowadays a good man is hard to find. Little Here is your hotel. In it, we hope you find all the decadent bourgeois comforts you enjoy in your Western reactionary countries. Oh, naughty man! You are supposed to be here on business.
It's funny that you should stop and talk to me like this. It's as though we were fated for one another. I love you, comrade.
Are you working for peace?
No, actually, I'm on a straight salary.
I too wish to improve East-West relations. You can make love to me now if you want to. Have I offended you?
No, this sort of thing happens all the time. Where I come from, women just can't leave me alone.
Oh, Western women are useless. Give me a woman who can plow a straight furrow any day.
Me too.
In Russia, men and women are all alike.
wonder why they look so miserable.
I will come to your hotel to collect you at 2 o'clock. Please be ready as I am playing football at half past. My mother said I never should mix with reactionary subversive elements in the mood. If I did, she would say, you'll only end up as a decadent, subservient, Western imperialistic political puppet one day. I'm a glorious Russian comrade, born on glorious Russian soil. I was part of my glorious parents' 5-year plan. I eat glorious Russian salad that's imported from the West and drink glorious Russian water when I can. I have 14 glorious brothers down a glorious Russian mine. I have 15 glorious sisters and a cat. And we all live together in such glorious Russian bliss in a glorious Soviet Russia to reflect. Father is a glorious Russian ghost man. Mother drives a glorious Russian train. Grandma drives a lorry, though she's 94. And Grandpa doesn't give a Russian damn. We've got glorious Russian heroes up in glorious Russian space, and the glorious Russian news says one day soon we'll live happily ever after on a vast collective farm somewhere on the glorious Soviet Russian moon. Hey! It is a good day for playing football, also for making love.
If you really work at it, we could have our own football team.
I look forward to the day that I have children. Oh, no.
Hey?
Not by you, mind you. You do know what it would mean if I had a child by a Western capitalist.
He'd have East-West relations?
Little job?
Sort of.
Very good.
I mean, they wouldn't send you to Siberia, would they?
No, but I would definitely lose my place on the football team. Here is my home. I live on the 17th floor. I'm sorry there is no elevator.
I've heard of the Russian steppes, but this is ridiculous. Can we sit down?
Da!
You must lose a lot of party members like this.
A Russian lover would think nothing of running up 17 flights of steps to see his sweetheart.
Well, I suppose you can get used to anything if you want it badly enough.
Do you like children?
As long as it doesn't become a habit. I believe every man should have a son.
One day I would like to have a Malinki Dvorchka and a Malinki Malchik of my own.
Wouldn't you rather have children?
They are children. A Malinki Dvorchka is a little girl, and a Malinki Malchik is a little boy.
Malinki Malchik.
Say Malinki, that means a little. Then you say Malchik, that means a boy. Put them together, say Malinki Malchik. That's how in Russia we say little boy.
Can I give it a go?
Yeah. First say
Malinki.
that means
A little.
then you say
Malchik.
that means
A boy.
put them together, say
Malinki Malchik.
that's how in Russia we say little.
I've always been good at languages.
Moscow to Rostov and Rostov to Kiev. Boys you can see every day of your life. Some may be small boys and some may be tall boys. Something makes all boys the pride of some man and wife.
smile cheek, it'd be my joy. Smiling with smile all the while, making my cheek. I'd be so proud of my own little boy. Smiling that smile cheek, all of the while cheek. This juvenile cheek, how precious he'd be. He would beguile me, my mild Yankee mild cheek. This juvenile cheek would mean the whole world to me. I'd like my Yankee, that means a letter. I'd like a mild cheek, that means a boy. I'd like my own little mild Yankee mild cheek. He'd make me happy, my own little chappie. My mild Yankee mild cheek, my own little. He had 4 daughters, all girls, and they all got married, and each of them had a son, all except one. She had a daughter. Now, doesn't that go to prove nothing certain? It reminds me of that nursery rhyme. Jack and Jill went up the hill to fetch a pail of water. At least that's what they said they did. Because now they've got a daughter. In fact, they've got 2 daughters and no son. Meanwhile, back at the ranch,
Mummy and Daddy have not spoken since Saturday. Home on the range. The silence is driving me mad.
Says here in the paper today that the divorce rate's up again. Some people have all the luck.
There was an old woman who lived in a suburb. She had too many children.
But no sons. I thought that it would rain today, but it didn't. I took my raincoat anyway, but I needn't. We may have local fog tonight, and thunder. It may rain cats and dogs tonight. I shouldn't wonder.
I knew it wouldn't rain today, because any fool can tell darn well that when the sky is red at night, it means another sunny spell. Why do you need your raincoat when you've got that damn great motor car? I said it wouldn't rain today, how stubborn some men are. Old King Cole was a merry old soul, and a merry old soul was he. Polly, put the kettle on, we'll all have tea.
I see here, if our government spends another $200 million on our space program, we can have a white mouse in orbit by the end of the year.
Nobody knows the trouble I've seen, and nobody cares.
I've been L-U-M-B-R eating lumber, but I'm never gonna get lumbered on.
Anyone asks me how I went this typically English life, I am fed up to my typically English. No place like home, there's no place like home.
I thought that it would rain today, but didn't.
Tell me there's no place like home.
It made me look for tonight, thunder. It made me catch it tonight. Oh, God, blimey! Thank you, sir. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you, sir. Sir, Castro, sir. Thank you. I'll smoke it after dinner, sir. Moscow, sir? Oh, very cold, sir. Very cold indeed, sir. Cold enough to freeze the what off, sir? That's a very colourful way of putting it, sir. Mind you, I was very lucky to pull off such a big deal. It was a business-doing pleasure with her, sir. You were talking to who about me, sir? The chairman? Lord Punchdrunk? Oh, sir! Me, a directorship? Thank you, sir. And the same to you, with brass monkeys on it, sir.
Bitte, sir, I am Ilse Brandt. I am the domestic help your wife applied for. I am coming to England to conquer the English language. I will hard work do, but I do not expect as a servant to be treated. I will have no men in my room, but I must have television.
You're German, aren't you?
You are very observant. In fact, my family was from Wilhelmshaven. But I was never a member of the Nazi Party, and my father was completely cleared at Nuremberg. The fatherland said I never should play with anyone in the wood. That would only mean disgrace. We'll never end up as the master race. Deutschland über alles ist my favorite too. Father was a typischer deutscher doctor, but he was a general in the war. He still keeps his uniform in the cupboard, just in case we should see the day he's waiting for. We love to see our dear old flag unfurled. Happy birthday, dear Adolf. Wherever you Please, I would now like to inspect my room. Dankeschön.
Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, yeah. Thank you.
Now I will when the sky is bright, even on a sunny spell. Why do you need your brain
tonight? Then anyone Captain Dawson, I shouldn't wonder.
There's no place like home. There's no place like home.
When God created man some several years ago, he smiled upon his handiwork, but little did he know, an atom with no matter was a certainty to grieve. But when the good Lord tumbled it, he lumbered him with Eve. So Adam looked at Eve, and she looked back at him. Why don't you let them talk, my lord, said some bright cherubim. So God gave them the power of speech which makes a man a prince. But women, I regret to say, have not stopped talking since.
Very funny.
Why ain't you laughing?
You don't realize it's when you go off abroad, leave me on my own to scrimp and save and work and slave and spend the day alone. You never think of calling me to ask me how I am. You always say you're busy, but you just don't give a damn. When you go off abroad to Paris and to Rome, I wonder what the business is that you can do at home. I'm not surprised you thought that I would never understand. I bet you anything you like, it's something underhand.
My wife's voice is a symphony of love. When she speaks, I hear violins from above. My wife's voice is a melody from the sweetest nightingale's throat. My wife's voice is a symphony,
and I hate every bloody note.
Yeah?
How are the English lessons coming?
Not too well. We Germans have always had trouble with the English language.
My English isn't up to much either. Why don't we help each other?
Thank you. You are too kind. But I must myself conquer it. You see, in Germany we have learned to be self-sufficient. Everything is a matter of discipline. There is no hardship we cannot overcome.
Ich lieb dich!
Have you any idea how much Germany at the hands of other nations have suffered during 2 world wars?
It's funny that you should stop and talk to me like this. It's as though we won another fated war. I love you, Wilson.
But you will see, within 10 years, Germany will rise again mightier than ever. While the East and the West with one another have been squabbling, we Germans have devoted ourselves to a united Germany, without which there is no hope for the free world. The fatherland said I never should claim it anyone needs a wood. That would only mean disgrace. We'll never end up as the highly organized, fully mobilized, armed and specialized, richly subsidized, extra specialized, wildly idolized, master race.
Daddy, what did you do during the First World War?
Nothing. I wasn't even born yet.
Daddy, what did you do during the Second World War?
Nothing. I was a conscientious objector.
Daddy, what are you going to do in the Third World War?
Stop the world! I read in this book somewhere that if you put all the grasshoppers of the world together and they held hands, it stretched from Sydney Harbour Bridge right around the world and back again. Now you may say to yourself, so what? I'm not a grasshopper. What do I care? Yeah, one of them, huh? Well, that's the trouble with the people in this country today. They don't care about other people's problems. But you put them in the middle of Sydney Harbour Bridge holding hands with a lot of grasshoppers, well then their elbows would be going like fiddles elbows. Another thing it said in this book, if there was a Third World War, there'd only be about 200 million grasshoppers left. And they'd all be Chinese. Not that I care. Chinese grasshoppers all look alike to me. Oh, I can't stand here talking to you about grasshoppers. I've got my own problems.
When you go off abroad to Paris and to Rome, I now know what the business is that you can't do at home. I'm not surprised you thought